So Joaquin, we're here at the McAllen Country Club. There's been a meeting of business leaders talking about the RioPlex project. How did it go?
I think it went well. The idea was to give them the strategic planning for RioPlex. That was the next step. We got about 70 industry leaders, developers, bankers on both sides of the border. So we had a very good representation of economic development leaders. No?
What was the feedback from the business leaders in the audience?
I think they loved it. Actually, I was amazed that we weren't here to ask for money, and most of them they were asking if they need to deposit some money towards the initiative. But we don't see the necessity for that yet.
And remind the viewers why this is important, why this project means so much to you and should mean a lot to our region.
We are spending on a yearly basis, only in the U.S. side, $120 million in economic development efforts. That's information that we got from the Texas State Controller Office. So that's information that is there. And that is not including what is being spent on the Mexican side and what the private industry is spending on the economic development. So we spend a lot of money here in the Valley. And we do believe that that money, everyone has their own budget, could be better directed with a lot more synergy in between all the members of the economic development community. That's the idea. How can we, RioPlex, help each one of the economic development organizations to better do trade missions? I think that we have a list of ideas that we want to implement towards that goal. No?
So if this region on this side of the river has $120 million to spend on economic development, do we know how many trips, totally that are made? I mean, how productive, how efficient are we with that money?
This year, we have counted a little bit less than 10 trade missions this year in between all of the different economic development organizations. That's close to none. I think that if each one of the economic development organizations do a trade mission a year, we should be having 60. Now, we don't want each one of them going to the same place over and over again. The project calls for everyone to choose a territory and for them to promote the region in that territory. Call it RioPlex, call it the way you want to call it, but promote the region. RioPlex is an initiative to get people organized, people united, and to get more money for what we're already spending. Get a better result for the money that is already being spent. That's what I'm trying to say.
So if there's less than 10 trade missions so far, are we talking about trade missions into Mexico and the rest of the world, or excluding Mexico?
Actually, the way we see it is anywhere in the world, including the U.S., including Mexico. No? Let's say, for example, that you are one of those CDOs, and you pick and choose one territory and call it Houston. Just to be, let's say that you have a very small budget and you cannot afford going all to South Korea or to China. And you say, well, I'm going to go to Houston. Well, there is a list of things that you can do in Houston for the benefit of the whole region. And RioPlex, the initiative, is going to give you the tools in order to achieve what you're trying to do. So it's a support team. It's a support group for every EDO trying to do a good trade mission. No?
Do you not fear, though, that if you approach the individual economic development corporations in the valley and ask them would they do that, and like you say, maybe one of the smaller entities says, yeah, we'll go to Houston, but then they go back to you and say, but we have to promote our city, we're not paid, we get taxpayer dollars, to promote our particular city of the Valley, not the region as a whole. Is that not a fear of yours, that that's the sort of pushback you would get from the EDCs?
That's the pushback for the past 70 years. That's the biggest challenge. That's the pushback. Most of the economic development boards, that's what they tell the management. Even sometimes if the management and the CEO and the CEOs think that it's better to promote the region, sometimes they get a pushback from the board of directors. That is a problem in the Valley. That's something that we need to fix. People need to realize that if they don't want to do business in the region, they won't do business in their city either. So you need to promote the region, both sides of the border, be as attractive as we can be. We have a lot of competitive differentiators, a lot of competitive advantage over all the other regions in the state of Texas. But if you just promote your individual city, it's not big enough. It's not important enough. But it's like the analogy that the Josh like to say, the Josh Cortez. It's like we are selling a mall. If you can bring traffic to the mall, maybe they can go to your individual store. If you bring traffic to the region, maybe they will stay in your city. But if they don't want to be here, if they don't want to do business in the region, there is nothing you're going to accomplish by promoting your city by itself.
A few weeks ago, we got a press advisory or press release from RioPlex saying that you are close, or that you're putting out a request for proposals for a marketing firm to market RioPlex around the world, and also that you were looking to hire an executive director or an economic development director. Have you made any advances on that yet?
Yes, but no, we call for marketing companies to help us with the branding, not to promote the brand in the rest of the world. No, we want someone, and we already have 6 proposals, 6 companies trying to get the contest or the contract to do the branding for RioPlex. The second is what we call economic coordinators, economic development coordinator. The idea is for him to be the point of contact in between all the EDOs, someone that will lead the effort. We need a very strong individual that can have the authority to lead the effort on both sides of the border. He needs to be bilingual. He needs to be very comfortable about traveling in the Mexican side. He needs to know people on both sides of the border. And we have received already several applications. We haven't made a decision yet. But we do believe that the Valley, the North Tamaulipas, deserve someone. It's like a coach, someone that is going to come into your EDO and tell you, okay, this is the game plan. We're here to help. We're here to help the EDOs accomplish bigger and better things. No?
And there's no pushback, no criticism or concerns from 2 organizations I can think of that are regional in nature here. We're talking about the Rio Grande Valley Partnership or the Council for South Texas Economic Progress, COSTEP. COSTEP and the Valley Partnership, they're happy to work with you?
COSTEP has been very close to us. Adam is great. He has a very big vision for the region. I think he sees the need. And on the RGB partnership, they have a lot of challenges. They have a challenge in keeping the organization open. They have too many board members. They have 37 board members. I like Daniel a lot. I think he's having a hard time just keeping the organization open. They haven't done much in terms of industrial development. RGB partnership sees more the commercial side, not the industrial side. COSTEP is looking more at the industrial side, not the commercial side. RioPlex is industrial. We are pushing the industrial. We like to call it the RGB industrial revolution, the RioPlex industrial revolution. Just let me give an example. You see LNG in Bronzeville, no? It's unbelievable the amount of prosperity that we are getting thanks to a company like that moving into the valley. We're getting the benefit in McAllen, in FAR, everywhere. Even though they are based out of the Port of Bronzeville, everybody's getting the benefit of that kind of growth. We need to change things. We need to do things better. We need to, the money that is being spent, I think with a little bit of a twitch here and there, I think we can get better results.